Perspectives YYC is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. The APN is the brainchild of Karen Unland, whose only purpose in life, it seems, is to support and grow local podcasts. Podcasts like Girl Tries Life, a series by Victoria Smith, who runs a website by the same name. She was one of the first APN members to reach out to me after we discovered we had shared a guest, personal stylist Sarah Schmidt. If you're looking for an Albertan woman who decided to say heck yes to life, who wants to show you how she's built a life around doing instead of saying you will, check out her work at girltrieslife.com and all the other amazing podcast awesomeness at www.albertapodcastnetwork.com or on social media at albertapodnet. Welcome to Calgary Culture, the Perspectives YYC podcast, a series of conversations with a series of local creators as we try to get serious about culture here in Calgary. Today we sit down with Matthew Mort, the happiest man alive. If you don't know him yet, you will, because Matt Mort is everywhere. Except here. Unfortunately, Matt moved to Vancouver right after recording this, damn it. Why did he leave us? For happiness and positivity, of course. Before he left, we got a chance to quickly muse about all things Matt Mort, and while a short 40-ish minute interview could never encapsulate his energy, I hope this gets you a glimpse of why people chant his name. Today's soundtrack was provided by Handmade, a local band and an extension of all that is Matt Mort. Handmade is available on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and the internet in general. Matt's latest project in collaboration with Brad Lancaster, At Discover Connection, is their project to promote a life full of connectivity. Check them out on Instagram or YouTube. That's at Discover Connection. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, and everything around and in between, I present to you Matt Mort.
I think it should be on Instagram.
Matt, we're recording the session, but before we start, why the fuck does your t-shirt say cat equals whale?
Okay. Hello. Hey guys, how's it going? So as you may know, youtube.com is a website that I really like. There's a YouTuber named Julian Smith, who posts a lot of videos. He was really popular back in the day, and you may know him from that song Jellyfish, where he made a song about, jellyfish sandwich.
Kyle, anything? No.
Nope, pretty popular guy. He's pretty cool. But he made a video about his cat, and he titled it Beached Whale. I think he titled. No, he didn't. But it's about his cat, who he calls Beached Whale because it's a fat cat. Yeah, I think it's supposed to the cat represents his cat named Beached Whale, and it's supposed to represent a beached whale, even though it's clearly alive because it's spewing water.
So that's good. I think we got all we need about Matt Mort. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I just wanted to re-record this because I was actually listening to our footage from January, Matt.
Yeah.
And while it's not so much of a critical thing, it's just your life, mine too, but your life has fundamentally changed in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
So just in case, I had a thought when you left, and because Kyle is going to cut us off not particularly, but early today.
Yeah.
Of maybe trying to mash the two together. But
sure.
Give me an idea. Who are you, Matt?
Just in general, or since we last recorded?
You can interpret the question as you see fit.
All right. Okay. I'm a content creator, I guess, of sorts, or a filmmaker. I've been working with Media Lab for a bit. I've been helping David with a few things here and there, and I used to be a YouTuber for a long time, and I'm getting back into it. That's why I'm moving back to Vancouver, is to make more YouTube videos on a different YouTube channel than my own. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos and has stickers of my face on people's stuff.
Shameless self-promotion, I think they call that.
Yeah.
You are a YouTuber. Actually, I didn't know that you had a YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah. I think, oddly, that was missed in the last interview. I think the last interview centered more about you being a total fanboy of YouTube and about how you have this preternatural conceptual idea of what will be successful, how one ought to run an Instagram, how people of your generation or slightly younger will respond to content. But I don't think you actually told me specifically about your YouTube channel. So just in case you did, because I am on a lot of brain medication right now.
Okay.
Literally, sadly. Tell me about your YouTube channel, Matt.
Okay. I'm surprised that I've never actually brought this up, even just in conversation, not even just with a podcast. But I've been on YouTube since 2008 of February.
Holy shit.
Yeah, since like junior high for me. It's gone through a journey, but the last few videos were more. They don't necessarily have a genre or anything like that, but I tried to cater them towards sort of like learning new skills and crossing things off my bucket list and just doing things that excite me or interest me in some way. I went to VidCon and made a video about it.
Well, other than loving YouTube, what drew you in to make your first video?
I don't really know, because I like, my mom used to have a tape camera that we used when I was like in grade 6 or something like that. Or
I think they're cassettes. Otherwise,
it was like a small. Yeah, it was like a really tiny, small,
just
like
be like Scotch tape or something. No, keep going.
Right, I know.
I'm just being a dick. Go. I'm listening.
I just like filmed like sledding adventures with friends and family, and like running around the neighborhood on bikes or making little skits and stuff. I made those for like a while, and then YouTube came along, and I discovered people like Smosh, and then just wanted to make my own YouTube videos. So then I posted my own and continued. I just like fell in love with YouTube and the whole like community, or the people on there. And then eventually when like they started to have their own meetups, it was exciting to watch other people's videos of like YouTubers who I didn't think would know each other, like meeting for the first time or seeing that. Like,
this is internationally. This is not in Calgary. Okay.
This was like one of the first like YouTube gatherings was in like San Francisco or something. It was like Pier 59 or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It was just very exciting to kind of be a part of that. And I started making friends through it, who I still have a friend, Austin, shout out to Austin Inside Lime TV, who's now on Twitch now and stuff. But I made like friends with him, and like we would Skype quite often in like 2010 and play Minecraft while we're on Skype, so we can like chat and stuff and talk to each other.
How old are you at this point? 2010? Like
at that point? Yeah. So I started, it was 2008 when I was 12. And so, yeah, it was like 14, I guess.
Wow.
Or so. 14, 15, something like that. It just like continually excited me. And I got like, it really like molded who I am in a way, because I discovered like Mitchell Davis, like Live Lava Live. He's like almost like an early, like a hipster god or something. Like almost everybody who was into or like classified as a hipster was like in love with Mitchell Davis. There's a fire check.
Yeah, we should probably re-record that, and I can make a quip about. He has like the fluffiest beard.
Who? Oh no, he doesn't.
Oh
no. He's just he
most vibrant plaid.
He's almost like a minimalist before minimalism was huge. This was like 2008 and 2010 or stuff.
The highest cuff jean. No, yeah, keep going.
I think it's mainly like the music that he liked, because he liked music that wasn't necessarily popular. Like, of course, like he did like popular music like Lil Wayne or something, but
why did you have to go to Lil Wayne first?
Because that's just, I'm trying to think of like
well, that's all the time we have today.
I mean, like there's certain songs like Kanye West, I guess, like, you know, he likes the popular stuff, but he doesn't like stick to what's on the radio or what's on the popular charts and stuff. He like expanded my knowledge of music and introduced me to bands like Yacht. But he introduced me to, I think he like introduced me to Sufjan Stevens, like my the first Sufjan Stevens Age of Oz, or the Age of Oz. That was like my favorite album for so long, and it's got like one of my favorite songs, like 23 minutes long. But he introduced me to like that, Kid Cudi, I think MGMT even, like he probably like had some influence on me liking MGMT. But yeah, like there's a lot of things on YouTube that's really molded who I am, and like I don't know, I've just been like addicted to like making videos and YouTube and all that for so long. And it took me a long time to really actually question doing anything else but YouTube. That only happened in like 2015, where I was actually like thinking like, what would I do if I didn't do YouTube? And then I just, I'm kind of coming back to it. But
do you think there's something specific, or it sounds maybe just the way that you've been wired the whole time, that you looked at YouTube as content creation as much as consumption? So
yeah,
I think, although I have no connection to these generational perceptions, but you know, most people still watch YouTube just to spend time to watch YouTube and just kind of pull. But you've always seemed to also want to put your face on and perform.
Yeah,
is that something just goes back to the cassette recorder, or do you think there's something we were like, even when you were 3, you were like performing and they're trying to get everybody's attention and doing backflips and stuff?
I don't know. It's kind of weird, because like in school and like drama class and all that, I was like terrible and super shy and didn't want to perform in front of people. Like the only people I would kind of perform in front of or just be goofy and silly is like my mom, and like that's it. Like not even like other family members, like family reunions and stuff, I'd still be like to myself and kind of awkward and shy and like don't know if I really know people enough or can't converse well. Yeah, I was more comfortable in front of the camera than I was in front of people. From like a young age, I guess.
That's fascinating. I'm the opposite. I don't know what it is about cameras, but I don't like them. Ironically, now that I'm trying to make a living through a camera, but but then I put me in a room, and I don't mind being an idiot in front of people.
Right. I'm getting more used to it and less shy, and like more out of my just shyness in front of people. Because I think I'm taking myself less seriously than I was for a while, and getting like I got into my awkwardness and stuff instead of like my awkwardness being like a hindrance or something that like made me feel bad about being in front of people or whatever. I use it more as like not a crutch, but like you know,
a megalophone. Mega.
Like I play into it.
A megalophone is the prehistoric version of a megaphone. Yeah, they were found in the glacier recently.
Sure.
Do you think that reflects when you look historically at your YouTube stuff? Like if we pulled a video of you from 2010, would you be more like trying to shoot it straight and make like a serious documentary about something? Or are you still like brushing your hair and acting like a weirdo? I mean, what do you think that there's been a progression there, how you approach it? It's just fascinating to think you go into a room physically and you're worried about all these other people, trust issues or whatever the source of the semi-agoraphobic kind of, at least by a narrative, that you don't like being in the crowd. But then I'll put my face on for literally the entire world to potentially look at, and that's okay. I mean,
right.
Yeah. Do you think there's been any kind of change there too?
I don't think I really thought about like who was watching my videos back then. Like, yeah, I had like no idea really. I was kind of making them for myself in a way, but also I wanted people to see them. I just didn't know who would see them. And I think I was also just kind of confusingly going through it, I guess. Like I don't know exactly what I'm making. Like there's no purpose to it. My thought process behind it, because I did daily vlogs for like from like early January to like August or something, and my whole thought process behind it was just documenting my life, like just sharing whatever I'm doing, no matter how boring it is. And that was kind of it. There wasn't any like thought process as to like who would enjoy this or who is this video really for, or like what's the point of it, what's the meaning. I just wanted to make stuff. I just wanted to make videos because that's what I felt like my calling was, or my passion was and stuff. So
I don't know. All I can think about is the servers that are going to crash with all the shit that people put on them.
Yeah.
Daily vlogging. Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to comprehend how much space. And we just recently watched Mission Impossible 5, where he's got to like dive into the server, and I'm
Sure.
like imagining this giant waterfall, ocean cooled, space with Tom Cruise trying to slip a yellow disc into.
yeah.
But that's probably why I don't create content. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's the YouTuber.
This is why you should be mic'd up.
Yeah. Say it again, Kyle.
What?
How long has Charles Trippy been doing daily vlogs?
So there's a YouTuber named Charles Trippy who is his YouTube channel is CTFXC. He's been doing daily vlogs since like 2008, I think. Has it? Yeah.
Married, divorced, married.
Yeah. There's a YouTuber.
It's like the what's that Jim Carrey movie? Truman
Show. Yeah, except he knows the camera's there.
Oh, I just mean more about the audience fascination with something like that.
Right. Yeah, because he's been doing it since like April 6th or something, 2008. And yeah, he documented his whole process, like his whole life, just to see as an experiment. And he got married, he got a divorce, he got brain cancer, he joined a band and went on tour, and then he got married again. And now his brain tumor is back now. But he's got like the Guinness World Record because he's never missed a day. There was like Shay Carl was doing it for a while, like on his channel Shay Tards, and he like inspired Charles to start, but Shay's like missed a lot of days, and now he's not doing daily vlogs anymore. He's doing them slowly, but yeah, Charles Trippy's been like daily vlogging for 11 years now.
Not to dwell on somebody else too much, Matt, but like,
Sure.
How long are these videos?
They vary. Some of them are like 6 minutes, and he's probably got some videos out now that are like 30 minutes long, probably.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when we first met about what to do with perspectives. I have absolutely no conception of modern media, and you were shocked that I don't know anything about YouTube. It's interesting. Like, how do you even get into new content like that? How do you find stuff? When I open YouTube, it tells me to either buy something or something that James Corden did. Like it's it's James Corden or Purse. And for mine, lifetime of link clicking, a lot of football, like soccer highlights. And that's essentially it.
Right.
But this, like, my wife's better at this. She's only 3 years younger than me, but she can spend time on the internet. I don't understand how that works conceptually. Like, I turn on a browser and it's like, okay, well, what the fuck am I going to do now? Yeah. Oh, here, Facebook. Oh, it's boring. And then I close the browser and I move on with my life, presumably, unless it's Reddit. I learned Reddit a few years ago, and that's a dangerous place. But I don't know. What is that like? What's your approach to media?
Okay. Well, for me, because I'm into like bucket lists and get out of comfort zones and all that stuff. Even without that, I just kind of like search for what I'm interested in and what I want to see. Because I have a feeling that like there's got to be at least like one YouTube channel that can make videos that I'm like currently craving right now. Like I kind of crave videos sometimes. Or like I want to see a video that's maybe like I don't know. This is an example, but like a James Charles video, but records it in a cave or something. I don't know, like a makeup guru who records his videos in a cave, and I'll try to find that or whatever. That's a weird example, but like there's got to be someone out there who's creating some sort of content that I want to see. So
It's not a weird example. I think it perfectly illustrates the point that I'm missing from a different generation, is that there's something that you are looking to connect with actually on a sort of spiritual human scale, even if it's looking at things that I would scoff at, as too commercial or too this or overproduced or whatever, myriad of ways that I can complain about everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like at the core, you're searching to connect with somebody that has a similar weird thought as you've had in that moment that you're searching.
Yeah, partially that, but also from a creative aspect to like get inspired to inspire me to create other videos, I guess. Like I don't watch videos just for the entertainment value, but just to like, for other ideas and see what other people are creating and kind of give me ideas for videos that I want to create.
It's fascinating. So, going from there and then leading into that you're leaving us, it sounds like it's YouTube related, but more importantly, with the 30-day challenge that you built on Facebook, tell me about your sort of recent creative endeavors and then how it led into this opportunity. Maybe even describe what you're going to do in Vancouver. And I think it's Vancouver. And and kind of like what's changed so much that I'm essentially going to trash our first interview. It is your fault, by the way. I'm blaming entirely on you. But,
that's okay. I don't mind. So my recent creative endeavors before Vancouver, I think I mentioned this already, but like I was editing videos for Media Lab's YouTube channel. I was editing some Instagram stories for Perspectives. I was a band manager for my friend's band Handmade, which I used to drum in, and you've had on the podcast. What else was I doing? I was helping run a community of YouTubers in Calgary, so Calgary video creators, with Kyle and a few others. Yeah, and then I wanted to do like I always feel more empowered or encouraged, I guess, to hold myself accountable when I am surrounded by other people doing the same thing. So things like at Media Lab, we started doing editing sessions, so people would just bring their laptops and we would all edit a video, like our own videos, in the same room, and it just feels better to like know that we're all getting stuff done together. And so I wanted to kind of form a group of people to do the same challenge, so we're all doing the same thing every day for 30 days, and then we can kind of message each other and give each other tips and help each other out throughout the month. And so I was thinking like things like go vegan for the month, and then see what we learned from it afterwards, or like take a cold shower every day or something different, just to get us like either into habits or out of habits or improve habits, or literally just like challenge ourselves for the month and see if we can learn something from that moving forward in our lives and do that stuff. So I posted an Instagram story about that, and then Brad Lancaster, who's in Vancouver, he used to edit for Yes Theory, who I love a lot, and we connected through like YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. But he saw that post and said like, hey, I want to like form a YouTube channel or start a YouTube channel about stuff like that, and that I should move to Vancouver and do that. And I've been like looking for someone to like relate to and really work with on YouTube videos that we really align together. I've been looking for someone like that since like I started YouTube. So it was pretty easy for me to say yes within like 5 or 10 minutes. I just had to I said yes, and then I would have to figure out the details after. But yeah, like before then, I would try to make videos with people, and most of them would want to make like skits or something different that's not really aligned, which I'm like grateful for that I got to, still make videos with people. But this is like a prime opportunity.
The thing that sticks out to me, Matt, is like, where do you think the fascination with the self-help bucket list? There's an underlying morbidity. Like, how old are you? 23?
23, yeah.
So you're, in my mind, still a child. And, so like from your life experiences, which I only know a topical sort of overview of, what is it? Is it your generation in general, or do you think there's something special, unique about your approach or your experiences that makes you, for example, like, why is a 23-year-old obsessed with bucket listing?
Right.
There's a cynicism there where you're aware, as most people only become in their 40s or 50s, that you could, fucking drop dead any minute.
Yeah.
But where do you think that comes from? Because I don't know if that's that prevalent with all the other 20-year-old creators that I meet. They're creating for great and powerful reasons of their own, but like a 30-day challenge where we experiment with concepts. They're not 30 days of like going and inhaling helium because it's hilarious.
No.
It's like you're actually trying to do things that are like the last one was cooking for yourself.
Yeah, it was meal prepping.
So where does that? I mean, is there something specific do you think that's driving that?
For me, I've experienced a lot of times where I'm just not happy with where I am in life, like mentally, I guess, and physically sometimes. I've been like, there's been a lot of times where I've dealt with like procrastination and stuff like most people do, and just kind of being lazy and I don't know, being home all day or just like laying on the couch, laying in bed, like doing nothing, and like there's a lot of times where I feel like I do it so often where I'm just sick and tired of it. Like I don't want to be in that state anymore, and I don't like being lazy or putting things off, or I don't like excuses. So I'm trying to cut excuses from my life.
Well, do you think you can like when is the last time that happened? And can you like take me through like how long were you feeling depressed, and were you fighting with yourself the whole way that this is wrong, or did you just catch yourself after spending 5 days in your bed? And I mean, what does that mean? For a 23-year-old, what is catching yourself essentially being depressed and morbid and wanting to change?
To me, like I know there's a lot of people who actually do have like depression and stuff, and I thought I did for a while, but I think I just have like depressive states and tendencies or whatever. Like I'm not actually really like I don't have depression, but we all like kind of just like get depressed sometimes, and we just kind of feel like we're nothing's worth it or whatever, and just feel like laying in bed and being lazy and doing nothing. So I feel like we're all there sometimes, but I've like with things like my YouTube videos, like I've been wanting to kind of keep a schedule of like posting weekly videos, because that's like a common thing that most YouTubers that want to grow should have, is like posting a video once a week. And I've been trying to do that for so many years and been like failing. I've posted maybe like 5 or 10 videos of like being like, I'm making videos again, or I'm back, or I'm posting weekly again. And then it just like cuts out and I don't post for a while. So I've had like just too many things that I'm like, I just don't want to be, I don't want to make another I'm back video, or another like, I don't want to repeat myself too much. And I feel like I get too repetitive, and I don't know what it is exactly that comes, or like, what was that?
My watch dinged.
Okay, cool.
It's good.
Yeah. I don't know exactly where it comes from. But I have like discovered, I discovered Gary Vaynerchuk and Casey Neistat in 2014. And I think that might have played a part in it. Cause I was watching like their videos and seeing like Gary talk about excuses.
He doesn't talk, by the way. Yeah,
what?
He's obnoxious. He just yells at you.
Well, sometimes, but he's also like, he's also pretty real. Like, I think like he seems like he talks the truth, and, I love him. Kind of. I never met him, but he's my dad. Yeah, I think just like through that and kind of being motivated by him and.
Well, let me redirect it.
Sure.
You're kind of avoiding the question. So like,
yeah.
I mean, let's go back.
I just don't know how to answer it.
Yeah. So maybe just think about the last time that you were stuck, because it sounds like a lot of stuff is moving right now, which is exciting.
Yeah.
But prior to that, and prior to putting out the post, let's say, of the 30-day challenge or whatever is that, I think it was 30-day challenge that caught the person's eye.
It was Brad's, yeah.
So leading up to that, I mean, were you sitting on that concept for years and something changed and you decided to just throw it out on the internet? Did it come, intuitively where you're like, oh, fuck, like, this is a great idea, I just got to do it? Were you in one of these depressed states where you were kind of sitting around at home and doing nothing? So you're nodding there, which is not visible on the mic. So like if that's the case, let's look at that. I mean, because I just kind of want to know what motivated you to actually do things. I think my assumption would be that a lot of content consumers are people that are stuck in that state where they either don't give a shit about anything, or they have that voice where it's like, oh, it wouldn't be cool if I did this, or wouldn't it? And then there's a bigger, maybe a myriad of voices that are like, no, these are the reasons why this is not going to work and you suck. And so I don't know if that's possible, but is there a way to kind of look at that scenario for you for, let's say,
Yeah.
the 30-day challenge?
I think for me, I think I was just kind of like, I think about that I could either lay there and be upset and like not happy with my situation, or I can just like throw something into the air and see if like people would want to be a part of this sort of thing. Like I have wanted to do it for a while because I love being in a group of people who are going after the same thing or kind of have the same motivations or same thought processes or whatever, or like even just like same interest. And I like get kind of upset, and I could either just lay there and be upset about it, or I can, throw it out into the world.
One of the existential problems right now with perspectives is I'm definitely in a bit of a rut that way. And so my fascination, why I keep drilling down on this, is how do we not only kind of look at how you started, let's say, a 30-day challenge, and now it's leading you to go to Vancouver, but more like how do we tell other people that whatever state they're in is not permanent, that it's not your fault, but it's like by choice. That at the end of the day, I wonder, is it about planning? Is it about structure? Or is it about just letting go? And
to me, I think it's just about trying. Like, literally just think about, like, would this work? Would, would this help in some way? And just give things a try. Or even just, like, getting out. Like, if you're in a slump or if you're in a depressive state or something, you might be just in a repetitive lifestyle. So if you can do anything to get out of that, just change up one thing. Like, I don't know, maybe take a cold shower or go for a walk sometime, or like there's so many different things you could do. Those were like only 2 examples, but there's so many different things that you can do just to change up your life and to get out of that state. Like maybe, I don't know, what else is there? Like, I don't know.
Give Kyle a mic. That'd be a change.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's fascinating too, Matt, that your way of looking at tackling this problem is about community and doing things together, which I wonder if one of the traps is a lot of people think they have to get out of it by doing something for themselves.
Right. I do agree with that as well. Like, I've also realized, like in the past, I've kind of relied on people, like with YouTube videos and trying to make videos with like people, like trying to find that person like Brad and whatever. I kind of got mad in a way of like, why isn't this person making the videos that I want to make, or why isn't this person making, why aren't I collaborating with this in the way that I wanted to? And so I kind of just like look at myself and think about like, the Michael Jackson quote, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. That's the quote. But like
the man in the mirror.
Yeah, and I think it aligns with like the excuses thing. Like, don't make excuses. Just like realize that you're in the wrong sometimes, and see what you can do about it. And like what, like
what's hard about all that stuff is the adages and the mottos and the memes and stuff are easy to post, but
yeah,
where do we have that discussion about the how? Where's the grind? It's why I was asking, like, if we talk about, let's say, the week leading up to posting 30-day challenge, and if you're finding that whole week that you're not engaged with Media Lab's assignments, or somebody did this, or you turn on YouTube and you find yourself resentful of all the content because it wasn't vibing with you, to say like, oh, well, you just look in the mirror and you tell, oh, fuck, this is all your fault, and now we got to change. That's not actually what happens. I mean, there's a bit of a process there.
Right.
I mean, at this point, is there something you think that you've been doing to flip that switch? I wondered, looking at the week prior, for example, was there an event? Was there somebody that talked to you? Was there... was it Gary Vee that said something that resonated with you that all of a sudden you were like, like I've had this idea percolating for, a couple of years and I'm just going to do it. I mean,
yeah. For the 30-day challenge specifically.
Sure.
I actually remember, I think it was Matt Diavella on YouTube posted a video of him like taking cold showers for every day for 30 days, and he documented that. And I think that's what it like kind of inspired me of like if it were just me, like doing it on my own, I don't think I would be motivated to take a cold shower every day for 30 days. But if there were other people doing it with me, then that would be more of a reason to, and I could like kind of relate and get other people's thoughts and stuff like that. And I think it's also, it kind of reminds me of my friend Kendall started a podcast club, which is like a book club, but we discuss a different podcast episode every week. And she was like listening to podcasts and found like interesting topics and interesting thoughts, and like she wanted to like text people and text her friends and like, you know, talk to friends about the episode and like get their thoughts on it. But like no one's listened to the podcast, so she wanted to like start something to like get their friends' thoughts and, you know, have a discussion about it. And I think it's, yeah. So that was like before too. So that could have had an influence on it in a way too. There's just like a lot of different factors that go into it, I guess, but I just can't think of them all.
No, it's good. I mean, at least at the core of what you can remember, it's this community aspect is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I was just with a friend, and he mentioned his observations from Europe, and he lived in Ottawa, and they've been all over the world. But he said he believes there's something interesting about Canada in general in terms of prizing community over many other cultures, and he thinks it has to do with the climate, because like 200 years ago, if you set up a small village, if you think you can do everything by yourself and you have your little hut, you know, 60 miles into the woods, the day that your mirror, that your window broke or your door didn't shut, or like, you know, it was -40, you're just gonna die.
Right.
But the people that survived have this ingrained sense that as long, I mean, this is a morbid and survivalist version of what you're talking about, but have this sense that, you know, as long as we're beside each other, if there's an emergency for you, or if there's something that you need to change, that we can do it together. And then, you know, it's kind of a conceptualization, I think, of human society as a whole. But I wonder if, like, recently, particularly, not to blame smartphones, but the way digital media is making us kind of zone in to a single point and not actually connect with other people. You know, this didn't become a 30-day challenge where you write a book and you're like, okay, just do it. You actually invited people to have a meeting at your place, which I didn't go to.
Yeah.
And you created a special chat group where people actually interchange information.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. There's something, I mean, you were empowered by that too, I think, in your depression, that you didn't only look at the base of your pillow. You were still connected to look for answers somehow.
Yeah.
Whether they were by chance or by intent, I don't know. But
I'm fascinated that you find this fascinating, because to me it seems like so like intuitive. Like it seems like that's just what you do. Like if something's wrong, if there's a problem, you try to solve it. Like you do everything you can to fix the problem. That seems like natural in a way.
Well, this is why we find you fascinating, Matt, because culturally and statistically speaking, this is why there's a concept of a midlife crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least in my experience, people aren't like that. And in fact, not as a whole, but many people do the exact opposite, which is they believe that they've got to be the hero of their story. Or, I don't know if this is American culture with everybody having this lone, you know, cowboy movie ethos where it's like, you got to have this one guy that in the end was stronger than everybody else and could put up with most and had the best skills and could shoot everybody before, you know. But there is an assumption, I think, underneath that you're not supposed to go and ask for help because that's weakness. And, you know, how many people say, you know, how do I cook this thing? But they don't look at their smartphone and just Google
This
it.
This is really weird, because this, like, I kind of feel... I feel not the opposite, but I feel like with the community, I get more of that feeling, like more of the American whatever, like building up one person. I almost feel like I am like on like some like lifted up in a way, because I feel like so much love from like the music scene and like different people, and like there's like people chant my name at my parties and stuff, which is really interesting. I don't know how that started, but there's like people that somehow love me. And like I feel like you can have both, I guess, or like it's all one and the same almost. Like building up each other is, you know, you build up yourself while building up each other. It's like a mutual thing.
I think you know, it's amazing to hear that out of the mouth of a 23-year-old as a 41-year-old. That's like had to take a total collapse of my life to learn the same thing. But that empowering, counterintuitive idea that the more energy I give to other people, the more that I'm actually lifted up. Whereas I think there's, I'm going to blame capitalism again, Kyle, but the capitalist ethos is that I got to take it from you, that we can't actually share anything.
Yeah.
That if I tell you how I set up the mics for this podcast, that I'm losing something. Or if we do a 30-day challenge, I've got to win the 30-day challenge. I got to do the most. I got to show you that, I'm not going to tell you the secret way that I chop my onions, because that means other people are going to catch up.
Yeah.
There's a weird undercurrent of that. It's not even undercurrent, but I think there's a prevalent sense that happens. And I think in bigger societies, with higher population densities, that becomes more stressed and more aggravated.
Right. In a way, with that, like the microphone example, like if you show someone how to do something, or show them your secret sauce or your secret way about doing something, they could take that and build upon it and then inspire you. And then you're like, oh, how did you do that? And they show you. So it's like a mutual sort of thing. Like if you never showed them initially how you set up your mics, they would have never inspired you to then build yourself up more. So it's kind of like there's like so many.
You have faith in the feedback loop.
Yeah. Like
maybe that's what happens with us as we get older. We get jaded. The first time you give somebody something and they fuck off and do something else with it, you're like, well, I can't do that again.
But then you can, always improve, always just try something different. And yeah.
It's fascinating, Matt. You're so positive. I was trying to pitch something similar to that on Facebook. I unfortunately, threw out my bipartisan anti-politics thing the week leading up to the election, because all of the media was getting so extreme on both sides.
Yeah. And
then unfortunately as well, it piqued sort of the combative instinct of some people that are quote unquote friends of mine on Facebook. And I was called naive, a 3-year-old, a fool. And I was like, I don't want to say that anybody's bad or good. I just want to
have a discussion.
Not only that, but like, why can't we just all hold hands and just like be human beings together and work together to solve whatever problems? And then they're like, well, this is why you're an idiot. And I'm like, maybe, right? I don't want to grow up then, right?
Yeah.
But we just left an entrepreneur circle, and there's a delicate balance there where, that naivety might just be denial as well. We'll see. I'll be watching you, Matt, as you develop.
Thank you.
And no, I really hope that you're starting this movement.
The worst case scenario is Matt grows to be a 32-year-old jaded, like everything sucks, hate everything.
He becomes like what is this, Sith Lord? Right? He turns into. This is why you need to be on a mic, Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle just said he turns into you, which I think is a good quip. I'm going to convince Kyle to start being my co-host on these. I think I actually had a thought that we should do that, so I can intentionally say really dumb things, and you can be like, no, that's incorrect. But anyways, I pray you don't become the Dark Lord in your 30s, and that
honestly, all of these. Literally, like as you said that, I thought about like how easy it could be for me to do that. Like I could easily just give up and. No, sorry, that sounds bad.
No.
I'm comparing it to you, but like I mean, like I could easily, like, become whatever the word is. I don't even know the word. What's the opposite of optimism?
Pessimist. More cynical than pessimism.
Yeah. Like, I could easily do that, but then I just feel gross, and I feel like I don't know, what's the point of it? Like,
not to dwell too much on myself either, but when I was in the pit of my depression, I found a TED Talk about depression, and this woman, it doesn't matter, this educated human talked about how the opposite of depression isn't happiness, that it's vitality. So depression in that sense is just nullity. So when you're actually in a pit of depression, you're not sitting there sobbing on the floor and whining about why somebody broke up with you or why this movie sucked. For me, I was just lying on the floor and for weeks on end, either contemplating killing myself, or I would drive my kid to daycare, my wife to work, and I would just lie down on the floor for weeks. And so when you go into those pits, it's frightening. As I learned, the way out of it is to be a Matt Mort and to just talk to people and kind of go and do things, anything. But it's another reason why I wanted to get into the how, because that's actually a lot more complicated than it needs to be. And I think a lot of people get into those modes, particularly when they get older. It just feels like a lot more work. Like I was telling Kyle when I bicycled here, I am on a bicycle.
Good. Nice.
And I'm burning up my muscles going downhill, which is a good joke. I'm exhausted because there's just something about wear and tear.
Yeah.
But I hope, I'll pray, and we'll support you. I think Kyle's nodding. Ugh.
Okay.
To make sure that you don't lose your way this way. I hope the project works.
Yeah.
Before we leave, because I got the 5 minutes, so what is this project specifically in Vancouver?
Right. Yeah. So Brad and I are starting a new YouTube channel where we try to connect strangers together, get other people out of their comfort zone, out of our comfort zone, help each other cross things off our bucket lists, and help other people cross things off their bucket list, and kind of just get people out of like mundane activities and ruts and all that sort of stuff, and try to just get them living a better life or a different life, or just like, try to connect them. I think the main goal is like connecting strangers and building a community of strangers that are cutting down the word strangers and making it more community based and friend based, and sort of like,
in Vancouver too.
Yeah, in Vancouver, which will be interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Whenever that becomes a more structured thing, like does it already have like a
name?
Yeah.
Currently it's under Brad's name. So we're going to use Brad's YouTube channel. It's Brad Lancaster currently, but we're going to change it to something different, which we're still figuring out. But I'll post about it on the internet. Just search Matt Mort or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get that tagged in whenever. Okay. I'll be watching. I guess I downloaded the YouTube app because you bugged me so much, like Twitter. I got banned from Twitter, by the way.
For perspectives?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
No. Yeah, social media is not my forte. But it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I think this is a better interview than the other one.
Yeah, I think so. It's the other one wasn't as, I don't even know what I talked about in the last one, but
yeah, it was different. Uh-huh. The fact that I didn't know that you were on YouTube says a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Yeah.
Okay, and then what I'm going to do, actually, after we stop recording this, I'm going to put an online poll to see if people think that Kyle should be mic'd up.
Yeah, I think you should.
I'm pretty sure he should at this point.
100%.
Yeah, I'm not even going to make direct eye contact with him because he's in this pit of denial about it. But what do you think, Matt?
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Absolutely, right?
Of course.
Co-host, or at least interjections.
Yeah, he's got good tidbits and interjections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's,
I don't say this often, but he can be a funny guy.
You just committed to it. That's on record now. Yeah. See, we didn't even get his quip after because he was not mic'd up. It's lost, Kyle. That was lost.
After 2 years of making fun of Kyle, I've been like throwing him compliments like
just because you're leaving.
The past few days before I leave. Yeah.
I was at a meeting, and this woman said that she's going to try not to be sarcastic anymore. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but sarcasm's like the lifeblood. And I realized, no, I gotta stop being such a dick too. So
you should have said sure.
Yeah. But no, I'm learning a lot too, that I gotta be nicer. So when I get Kyle on the mic, I'm gonna try to be generally pleasant with him.
Good.
But until then, right? No, that's bad. Okay, that's it. Do we need silence? No. So we'll just say...
Is this goodbye?
Goodbye, Matt.
Okay. Bye, David.
Am I not going to see you until you leave? No. So, yeah.
Well, are you going to there's a Thomas show tonight. You want to go to that?
Oh, yeah. I bought tickets. Yeah. So if I don't fall asleep from being old-aged, I'll probably be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you, David.
I love you too, Matt. I'm glad to have met you. And I wish you luck on all your endeavors.
Thank you.
And we'll be here waiting with lightsabers when you turn to the Dark Lord Sidious.
You guys will do good things too.
Are we?
Yeah. Calgary's doing good stuff.
What do you think, Kyle?
You guys are just at the start of it.
Kyle has no opinion because he's not mic'd up.
For today's sponsorship message, I wanted to focus in on ATB and their support for the Pride movement. At ATB, we believe pride is a stance for love, diversity, and self-worth. A stance for acceptance in our workplace, in the communities we serve, and with our community partners. More information can be found on atb.com/pride.